officially open. I'm your lead mechanic, Mr. Mech. Welcome to the garage, just in case it's just now kicking in. My apologies for showing up at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, closer to 6 than 5 like it's supposed to be. Hopefully those alerts are kicking in and you see that I'm up here. What can I tell you, man? Life be lifing, and some of these meetings run way longer than they're supposed to. It's kind of like having somebody on the other line who, you trying to click over and you're trying to tell them, yo, I'm on the phone, and they ain't trying to hear it. Yo, I'm on the phone, they ain't trying to hear it. I'm on the phone, they ain't trying to hear it. It's nasty. But nevertheless, I'm here. Salute to all the mechanics coming in the building. I'm gonna start naming moderators for this chat, so I know who's who. I'll just expect to get the nod, and because it's becoming necessary. And hit those likes, hit those subs. That's how you show your boy love. Hit those likes, hit the shares. Let people know how we do it around here. Salute to everybody pulling up. Charlie Funk, what up? All the mechanics. Salute to y'all. Yeah, I had a chance to watch J. Cole's interview again, and I had a chance to go back and check La Russell's statement again and listen to Heaven Sent again. One time for all the mechanics pulling up. I see the tools in there. Get your tool belt, get your coveralls, let's get this thing on the rack, see where we at. I've had a chance to check some of the stuff out, and I know you guys probably saw J. Cole finally gave Cam that interview, right? Apparently, that's what it looks like. It don't look like AI to me. It looks like he finally gave that interview. I want to salute, if this is a thing. I don't know yet, but I want to salute Cam for not holding a grudge because Cole didn't come to him first. Like technically, Cam was owed that interview before Apple and Nadeska got it, according to the lawsuit. They agreed on that a long time ago. But maybe Cole wanted to sit down and kind of get himself comfortable before he went and sat down with Killer. But who knows? 10 p.m. tomorrow. Yeah, we in the building. If I'm not mistaken, if we're talking about the same thing. But yeah, man. Cole and La Russell. I think what they both have in common is not necessarily accountability, but complexity, duality. Follow me here. Some of the commentary that I've been getting on the short clips. By the way, moderators, you might want to like start going through some of these things and checking it out a little bit, see who's saying what early. It's not that it's that serious, but why not? Why not get started with good habits early? It's never that serious. I'm from a different era. My bullies were outside and in real life, not on the internet. That doesn't. Moving on. Complexity is what I believe La Russell and Cole have in common. I think that when they said what they said, but on both sides, I think when La Russell said what he said as far as writing Heaven Sent and then kicking it, I think he meant it. I think when Cole wrote 7 Minute Workout and when he took that shot at Kendrick, I think he meant it. I also think that when he, was fronting on Cam and not pulling up on Cam and not giving him the verse, I think he meant that too. I think, he was doing what they all three situations for both men. I believe they all at the time felt they were doing what was best for them, or they were doing what was the best thing to do. Right? Trying to make a point one way or the other. I think that's when I see the criticism that they're receiving, especially on my comments. I'm not running up on everybody else's comment section to see what's being said. I know I'm not the only person who thinks like this. but I'm not running up on like-minded comment sections just to see who's saying what. If you watch my expert opinion, you remember that I don't really watch the comments. I watch these because it's y'all, these are my people. So I'm going to have a conversation with my folk whenever I'm in here. Hit the likes, hit the shares, hit the likes, hit the shares, hit the likes, hit the subs, hit the likes, hit the subs. I'm actually more interested in likes and subs than likes and shares. But if the conversation is moving you any kind of way, feel free to share. But likes and subs for sure. Please and thank you. But I believe that in all three of these situations, both gentlemen completely meant what they were saying. I think it's the after effect, how it's handled after, is what where the difference kicks in between the two of them. I think Cole's ability to stand in front of what he said, and again, some of the comments I'm seeing on both these cats, my little one piece snippets, people in there going crazy. You don't know hip hop, you don't know what you're talking about, and this dude don't stand for nothing, bro. First of all, settle down. Second, like just take it easy. 'Cause it's not getting you anywhere. Second of all, yeah, no, I think they meant what they said at the time that they said it. I think it was true right up until it wasn't. I think what we're dealing with is there are people in the comment section who have attached their perception of this person to that person. And when that person doesn't fall in line with their perception of him or her, whatever the situation is, when that person falls out of alignment with that perception, all of a sudden that person is a hypocrite and they lying and they two-faced and they weak, they don't stand on nothing. Now, don't stand on it. I can see where people are getting that with LaRussell, because instead of embracing the feedback that he's getting and the criticism that he's getting, which is super honest, the criticism and the feedback is honest. People really feel out, it's not. I haven't seen any unfair critiques. Instead, he points his finger back at his the people who are criticizing him, and he ridicules them. They're the problem, not him. They're the issue, not him. And I don't think that's fair. I don't think that's cool. But Cole, on the other hand, is, you watch the interview, you see that he has this very much, kind of, I get it, I understand, I get it, I understand why you're tight with me, I get it, but he also goes on to explain why he made the decision he made. Not so much why he decided to diss him in the first place. That's the only thing I was missing that's the only thing that was missing for me from that interview. Again, shout out to Apple, and more importantly, shout out to Nadeska. She bodied that interview. She absolutely bodied it. And I don't know if maybe I missed it, but I never saw the deep dive into, and I watched it twice. I never saw the deep dive into his mindset, J. Cole's mindset in dissing Kendrick in the first place. I really would have liked to hear the explanation, because those words and those thoughts didn't come out of nowhere. Maybe it came from a mindset when he was messed up, but as he explains in the interview. But I still really wanted to hear where his brain was at when he decided to put all this on wax and post that up to the world. I really wanted to hear that process. But we didn't get that. And it is what it is. It doesn't make the interview any less fire. It's just one thing that I would have wanted to know, and that they didn't deep dive into. However, he's very candid about, and maybe he'll give us that with Killer. Maybe when he sits down with Cam, we'll get that information. Maybe Cam will actually, sometimes when I've done an interview with somebody who's, kind of fresh on the scene, or the next big thing, it sometimes it's cool to be first. A lot of times it's cool to be first, but it's not always bad to be like the second or third person because you get to cover the ground that that person didn't cover. So maybe Cam is taking that into account, and we'll get some answers to some questions that didn't happen on the Apple joint. But I think people who are criticizing both of these dudes. And not to say that, here's the other thing. It's not to say that criticism isn't fair. I believe LaRussell's criticism is fair. I believe J. Cole's criticism is fair. And if you're a stan of these two dudes, well, first you have to remember that you're a stan. I'm not taking, nobody really should take stans serious. In your eyes, the person can do no wrong. You've lost all objectivity. So we have no reason to listen to you being upset that someone is criticizing your hero or the guy you're standing over. Nobody needs to respect that. You're not objective at all. And with that said, the critique of both of these dudes are fair. What LaRussell said was wild out of pocket. Wild out of pocket. God forbid you've actually been like, essayed, or you're losing your health benefits, or you're losing your SNAP and you're starving off the strength of the dude in the White House. You don't want to hear none of that. Haven't, like, are you nuts? Like, God forbid you on that kind of time. You don't want to hear that this dude is having, beat it, bro. Or the dude with the island. You don't want to hear none of that. Like, miss me with that. Yes, super fair criticism. He was wilding for that. He had an explanation, and it made sense, and I got where he's coming from. But you don't always need to play devil's advocate, which is literally what he's doing right there. You are advocating for like some of the worst people on earth. And hey, just remember, they're heaven sent too. Man, shut the fuck up. They're heaven sent, but they're making the devil's choice. And nobody got to respect that. Nobody has to, you don't get to cash in that. And no one needs to judge. But we can all observe. We all see what's happening. He was massively out of pocket for that. But when it came to people pointing out how he's out of pocket, instead he's calling people slow. He's, y'all not that dumb. He's like very condescending. Not really, terrible, terrible, terrible move. On the other side, J. Cole. You dissed one of your fellow big three after, years and 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 years of telling us how feared of an MC you are and how anyone who crosses you is going to get it and you'll give no quarter and show no mercy and all that good stuff. And then you did it and then you backed out. And it could be for the reasons that he gave. It could be because the reception to his diss wasn't that great. That would have been the ultimate test. Had he dissed Dot, had he dissed K Dot, and that diss got the reception of Not Like Us or even Euphoria, had people like reacted to it in that way, the real test then of that character that he's telling us about would have been, if the reception to the diss was crazy, would he still have taken it down? And we'll never know because the reception wasn't that crazy and he took it down. So now he's free to credit that decision with whatever, but we'll never really know. We you can take his word for it, or you can believe what you believe. One way or the other, that's never going away. That, God bless him. Doesn't have anything to do with his talent. Doesn't have anything to do with the dope music he makes. Doesn't have anything to do with the dope songs he writes. None of that. But that's never going away. You know what I mean? Like, you listen. I still get clowned for the fight I ran away from, and I was a kid. I was 10, 11. I ran because I didn't want to get in trouble. I've never lived that down. I've never lived that, ever. To the people who were around me from back then, they still remember that. They still got jokes. It's funny. It's funny, especially since those same People know that out. Anyway, it's funny, but it's true. Like you never get rid of it, especially if you've hyped yourself up. God forbid you hype yourself up to be some kind of specialist or some killer, and the one opportunity you have to show and prove legitimately, not even and free and clear, there'll be no repercussions except you know competing with the guy who you said competing with someone who's telling you this is competition and I'm here to win. The fact that he felt yucky behind it, I get it. I respect it. But like I said before, it's almost like, you got caught hitting the pipe. It's like, even if you just did it once, from here on out, nobody's going to let you forget that there was that one moment where you hit the pipe. Hit the likes, hit the subs, hit the likes, hit the subs, hit the likes, hit the subs. That's how you show your boy love. But Cole has made peace with that fact. I didn't hear one piece of ridicule towards the people who were critiquing him and getting at him because of that decision. I don't hear anybody saying nothing like that. You, how? How? And that brings me back around to the criticism I'm seeing in the comments, and he don't stand on nothing and blah blah blah. Human beings are complicated. We are complex organisms. We don't no, none of us are a monolith. This whole thought that it's just this one train of thought and you never change your mind. It's how you deal with the changing of the mind. I tell people all the time, I welcome being wrong. I love finding out something new. I'm not afraid to be wrong. Uh, at all, ever, ever. It's cool when it's cool to be wrong and learn something new. Always cool. It's not that serious. It's also cool to change your mind. I do believe one of the hallmarks of being a human being is the ability to, you like my father would say, you know better, you do better. What you believed yesterday was true until you learn something new about it today. And now it's not true anymore. A drastic example, I used to love peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. Then one day I woke up and I was allergic to peanut butter. Out the window. It was true until it wasn't. And right before the allergy hit, it tasted gross to me. Just like that. Boom. Tasted gross, and that was the end of it. It's true until it's not. You love somebody until you don't. You cool with somebody until you're not. That's your car until it's not. You feel that way until you don't. And people change point of views. Any new piece of information can get you on that. So I really need, like, for the people who are going super hard with the critiques, like, and this is more for the stands who are getting mad at me for saying the things I'm saying about the Cole or LaRussell. This is more for their stands than anybody else. Relax. First of all, there's nothing personal in anything I'm doing. I'm telling you what I see. It's that simple. I'm really just, oh, look at that, and I'm telling you what I see. If you're standing out, just recognize it. If you have a problem with that, you might be a stand, and you really might need to take care of that. If you feel the need to personally attack people for critiquing an artist in any way, shape, form, or fashion, you might need to seek help. You might be a stand, and you might need to get that fixed. Especially if you're gonna come on my page and get mad at me about shit I'm saying on my page. You're bugging. Like, chill, Stanley. Chill. But for everybody else, welcome to life. This is what it looks like. It's not that it's, none of us are getting out of this thing alive. So, just relax. It's cool to be complex. It's cool to be complicated. It's okay. As long as it's okay with you, it kind of has to be okay for everybody else because it doesn't really matter. Do your one, two, do your numbers. Stand on the things you say. It's okay to be wrong. Welcome being wrong. It means you just learned something new. It's not that deep. But be careful who you stand up for and who you stand out about. It's because when they change your mind, you standing there holding the bag, just mad that you done made all these big assumptions and big declarations for somebody who no longer feels that way. Just be a little more careful and just take it easy. It's not that deep. Anyway, that's the end of tonight. I don't want to beat y'all in the head super long. Again, here for a good time, not a long time. Hang up your coveralls, hang up your tool belt. Let's get this thing off the rack, see where we at. I really appreciate y'all joining me on these should be 5 p.m. lives. From here on out, I'm striving to be here at 5 p.m. every night, Monday through Saturday, not Sunday, unless something wild pops off and I just go live. So make sure you set your alerts because life is about to get super interesting, and some of the things I'm going to be able to show y'all behind the scenes, I really want y'all to be a part of. So keep those alarms set to the channel so when it pops off, you can be here with me. It's happening and it's happening quick. So just rock with me. It's about to be a really interesting year. In the meantime, in between time, I'm your man, Mr. Mac, lead mechanic. The garage is now officially closed for the evening. I will see you back here tomorrow, God willing, at 5 p.m. Where we get the tool belts out and do a little more maintenance on this culture that we love so much. Yeah, man. Again, appreciate y'all for pulling up. Shout out to all the mechanics worldwide. I love the shout outs from the UK, South Korea, the UK, South Korea, Poland, Canada, and all across, of course, all across the United States. Salute to the entire room. Head down into the comment section. About to go down there and have this conversation as soon as this thing is finished loading. So let's continue to chop it up, shall we? Good looking. I will see you back here tomorrow at 5 o'clock, God willing. The garage is now officially closed for the evening. One love to all the mechanics. Till tomorrow.